Hello guys, welcome back. And today's videos will be on how to raise your frequency, and it is the key to escaping death. When I mean the key to escaping death is escaping any negativities in your life, any poverty, anything that doesn't further your growth, and that also leaves you to threats. And when you're living in low frequencies, you are more likely to encounter uh, more ways to die versus living uh, on a high frequency plane. So, what is frequency? What does it mean to raise your frequency? Well, frequencies are similar to radio waves. Like if you step outside, even if you're in your house, you are constantly bombarded with electrical signals, electrical waves. That's how radios uh, receive signals and send out signals. So most of these signals are invisible, but if you uh, if you can tune a radio to one certain frequency, let's say for instance, if you have a radio, you turn it to 92.9, you'll have one station, and they'll be spewing contents on just that one station. But if you turn the station to a different station, let's say 95 point something, then you're gonna get a different frequency. You're gonna have a different voice on the radio in just a different channel. This is similar to how you can change your frequency change the frequency planes. uh, there's everything is energy, everything is fields, uh, radio waves. So if you tune yourself on a high frequency planes, you're only going to attract high frequency events, people, and circumstances in your life. And if you remain on a low frequency, you are only going to attract everything that's on that same frequency. So when you become higher frequency, you become a godlike being. Everything become possible to you. Everything that's on that frequency, you are attracting to you. So you also become a childlike. Uh, what I mean by this is you lose the ego. You have subdued the ego. If you take a look at a child, the child doesn't concern itself with the future or the past. The child is only living in the moment because they their mind is not filled with worries about what's going to happen or worries of the past. They are in the conscious moment. They are conscious in the moment and living in the moment. So that's why I always say you can learn a lot from a child. You can learn how to achieve happiness from a child, because from the age of conception they are not programmed yet by society or by their parents as to what is good, what is right, or what they should be doing, because the child still has their imagination. Imagination is everything, because everything is possible. Why everything is possible? Because we're living in a simulation, a simulated reality where your thoughts create your reality. So anything you think of will create your reality, along with other. Just the thoughts alone will not create your reality. But I made a video earlier about explaining what you can do to create your reality, not just with thoughts, but you have to have the emotions with it. And the body becomes lighter, it becomes less dense. So this is what will allow your body to shift dimensions, to shift frequencies, uh, whenever there's chaos around you. For instance, if you continue to raise your frequency and raise your vibration, and let's say for instance there's uh, it feels like the world is coming to an end, there are other dimensions right besides it where it's parallel dimensions. There are parallel realities where you can shift into those realities on a subconscious level, and there's peace on that dimension. you will not be able to. Most of the time these changes are subtle, but if you become conscious and aware, you will notice the subtle changes. uh, the changes can be as small as a different color bird flying in your view, or just instead of a brown cat or a white cat walking in your path, you'll have a different color cat. This is why you must be conscious and living in the moment so you notice these changes. And when you change your frequency, like I said, it's similar to radio waves. You're changing the frequency, you're changing your plane of existence, and you will attract the same thing on that frequency. And one of the key factor is to raising your frequency is your diet, is what you eat. There's a saying that say you are what you eat. That is uh, true in the purest form. So what you do eat actually you become. So if you become the if you begin to eat healthy food, your mind will become healthy. You will begin to think positively. And if you begin to engage in eating and consuming junk food or fast food, uh, your mind will operate on a low frequency plane, because those foods are low frequency food, and healthy foods are high frequency foods. So you consuming high healthy foods, as a result, you will become a high frequency being. And I recommend eating fruits, plenty of healthy foods like vegetables, and drink plenty of water, because your body is made up of mostly 75% of water. So the more water you drink, the better you can think, and the more you raise your frequency. For me, I drink nothing but water. I drink strictly water. Every now and then, once in a blue moon, I'll have maybe a orange juice for the vitamin C intake. Other than that, I stick on a strictly pure water diet. And you have to build a positive character. What I mean is, you have to live with compassion, live with kindness, and unconditional love. If you take a look at a mother and a child, the relationship between the mother and the child is unconditional. No matter what the child end up doing, or uh, their habits, or their behaviors, the mother will continue to love the child, because there's a strong bond between them. There's an unconditional love. That's why I believe relationship fails, because there is no unconditional love. Everything is conditioned. So for instance, in order for one person to love another person, there has to be a condition there. If you don't do this, then they say, I don't love you. You must do this. You must be this. You must be that. And then that actually creates a change in the person, and they want to be someone else other than themselves, because the other person is pushing them to be someone they're not. And also to meditate. Meditation is a key when starting to be mindful, because it calms the mind. It makes you aware of your thoughts, the negative and the positive thoughts, so you can only associate with the thoughts you want to engage with. And I recommend putting the bugs outside. Don't engage in killing, even in the smallest instance. Even ants, I don't try not to step on them when you can, because everything is intention. If you intend on killing an ant, it doesn't matter if it's an ant or a human. It's the same. You committing the same crime, because you didn't create that ant. You didn't give life to that ant. So why would you take life from the ant? There's no difference. It's the same way as killing a human. It's a living being, so you must respect every living being. Put the bugs outside when you do catch them. That will also raise your frequency, because you will have the intention of growth, of creation. Because a God does not kill, a God does not destroy, a God only create, and uh, from pure intentions. And you have to condition your mind that way. Once you begin to condition your mind that way, it becomes a habit, and from then on it becomes a lifestyle. At first it's going to be difficult, because it's not what you're used to doing, But once you force yourself after uh, about a month, and it'll become a habit. After about 100 days, 90 days, it'll become your lifestyle, and you'll begin to do it on a subconscious level. You must guard your mind. Guard your mind from negativity. There's a saying that say garbage in, garbage out. Uh, it's whatever you feed your mind, you will. It's like planting a seed. If you plant negative thoughts into your mind, only negative things will come out of it. You will attract negative things into your life. You will be stuck on a low frequency plane. Try to listen to positive and upbeat music and contents, and be aware of what you watch or listen to. You must guard your mind from all the negativities that's going on, and don't react to it. Just respond to it, and decide what you want to feed your mind, what you want to feed your uh, uh, yourself with. And you must be conscious of what you speak, because what you speak, whether intentionally or unintentionally, will create your reality. It will manifest into your life. That's why there's the saying that say you can speak something into existence, whether you're aware of it on a subconscious level or you are consciously creating or speaking what you want. That's why a person can be killed just by words alone. So if you can constantly saying, "I feel like death," "I feel like dying," even if you're joking about it, the universe doesn't. Um, the universe is indifferent. It doesn't know if you're joking or not, and it doesn't care if you're joking or not. If you keep saying negative things to yourself, and you will bring that into existence. So that's why I say you must be conscious of what you speak, and you must live in the moment. Nowadays, everyone is, whenever they're experiencing an event, they instantly grab the cell phones and cameras and start shooting the event, but they doesn't know that they're missing the event while it's actually happening, because they focus are on the camera and recording, and they are not living in that moment and truly experiencing it. And when you're living in the moment, you begin to be happy. You begin to feel happy, because that's when you're truly experiencing life, because you're living in the moment. You're not concerned with the past or the future. And happiness is the key to manifestations, because if you take a look at a person's life, if that person is constantly happy, without any effort, they will gravitate towards greater things in their lives. Only good things will attract into their lives, because they are living on a high frequency plane, and on that high frequency plane of existence, there's only positivity there. There's only great things on that frequency. So even if they don't seem like they're trying, as long as they are happy, there's only gonna be good things that happens to them. And what are the effects of a high frequency being? Well, once you become a high frequency being, you can transmute food. So you can eat anything you want besides meat or dairy or any byproducts or any animal byproducts. So you can start to consume junk food, but I wouldn't recommend it. But every now and then you'll have a craving. You can engage in that craving and give the body what it needs. But you'll have the ability to transmute food, and you'll have the ability to read body language, to read people. You'll become a lie detector. For me, every now and then, when I engage in a conversation with people, on a subconscious level, I hear the tone of their voice. I can hear the lies in their voice. So instantly, before a person even speak, I can know whether they're going to lie to me or not. So your senses become amplified. I've had a lot of experiences with that, where I can be far away from person, and there's two person or another group of people speaking, and I can hear the entire conversation. uh, without them knowing, and you will only attract great things in your life. There is a movie that's called Frequencies. I recommend you guys watch that. It explains this whole thing in more depth, and it's a it's a movie where this woman only attracts what she only attracts everything that's on a high frequency plane. Like, for instance, she's never late for anything. She's always on time. She's always at the right moment at the right time. And when you are on a high frequency, like I said, you can escape death because you are no longer vibrating on a lower frequency. You are vibrating on high frequency planes where only positive things happen. For instance, if you are vibrating on a low frequency, you might have a high probability of getting hit by a car, by a train, or any 1,000 ways to die scenario. But if you're living on a high frequency plane, the likelihood of that happening reduces. So you have a higher probability of living. So this is what I mean. You can escape that. Okay, this is the end of the video, guys. Until next video, and good day to you.